News segment. Let's begin the episode tonight taking a look at the launch of the Center for Immigrant Representation, a new nonprofit organization which will function as a resource center for immigrants seeking legal representation in Jersey City. The center is deeply committed to immigrants and their families and is eager to serve the community by offering high-quality, low-cost immigration legal services, including comprehensive assistance with applications for citizenship, green cards, and others. With much talked about status of South Asian immigration and in SAPAC this year, the center will serve to add assistance and access for the ones in distress and unable to access or afford free legal services. With much planned for New Jersey's most culturally diverse areas, the center hopes to bring forth all help needed. Let's take a look at our exclusive conversation with some of the key members of the Center for Immigrant Representation.
So many things that were easy or straightforward in the past have become a lot more complicated. And one of the big rules that he's put into effect is called the Notice to Appear policy, which means that many people, when they're applying for immigration benefits, if their application is denied, they are then placed in immigration court proceedings, which could result in them being deported. So it's very important that for immigrants that are looking to make any application, that they at least have a consultation with an attorney first to make sure that there are no problems with their application that would cause them to ultimately be deported from the country. So it's a time to be very, very careful and to always speak with an attorney before making an application with immigration.
Well, so the Center for Immigrant Representation is possible because of another nonprofit organization in New York City called the Immigrant Justice Corps. And the Immigrant Justice Corps was founded because there was a Chief Justice in the appeals court named Judge Robert Katzman, and he was presiding over a lot of immigration cases in the last few years, and he saw that people were just poorly represented, that many immigrants were coming to court with no representation at all, or that their attorneys were doing a very bad job and cheating them out of their money and things like that. And he said, so what can we do to really change the face of representation and make sure that there are more people available to represent immigrants? And, you know, it might not be the most lucrative area of law and this, that, and the other. So how can we get more high-quality immigration attorneys? There is a way to represent immigrants without being an attorney. It's the only way to get involved in that work, and it's via a government-sponsored program. Basically, it's called accreditation. The government at some point recognized that there wasn't enough representation for immigrants and that there were a lot of nonprofits out there that were working with the immigrant population, and it would be great if they were able to kind of provide that representation as well. So nonprofit organizations can get accredited by the government, and they can either hire attorneys or they can get training for their staff in order to be able to provide legal services to their clientele. And so since I've been involved in immigration legal services in college, I always knew that I wanted to be an accredited representative. I didn't want to be an attorney. I wasn't interested in the money or the degree or, you know, the prestige of being an attorney. I just wanted to do the work. And I knew that as an accredited representative, I could work in the nonprofit sector and work with immigrants and help them file applications and everything like that legally. And I didn't need to be an attorney. So as accredited representatives, the Immigrant Justice Corps takes young college graduates and it trains them in immigration law and trains them in many different immigration processes and then places them in different nonprofit organizations where they then get the title of accredited representative.
And we are here with Samuel Dillon, who will speak to us. So Samuel, can you tell me what services are you providing here?
Well, this is a nonprofit immigrant law firm that provides mainly naturalization and green card applications. We also do humanitarian immigration work for people who are facing removal proceedings, like asylum or some other types for people that have been, say, that have other types of humanitarian relief available to them under the immigration laws of the United States. So we provide various stuff. What we don't do is what you could characterize as business journalism or business immigration law. We focus, for instance, we don't do the kind of visas that international executives would get to come and work in the United States. That's not our specialty. It's a very complicated area of the law that we don't specialize in. So ours is more the humanitarian, naturalization, green card work with probably mainly sort of middle class people who need those types of services. And we decided to base it in Jersey City based on a study, like a market study that we did with consultants that analyzed various metropolitan outliers of New York, including Patterson and Elizabeth and some places in Long Island, to decide which would be the most advantageous for our firm and for the immigrant communities. And we settled on Jersey City because there's really an enormous immigrant population in Jersey City, and it's very diverse, many different nationalities, and believe it or not, there are not many immigration attorneys that operate in Jersey City, either nonprofits or even regular for-profit attorneys. There just aren't that many, and there are you could count the number of agencies in Jersey City that provide nonprofit services. So we saw that as a rich opportunity, a place where we could serve the immigrant communities with a detail about our firm is that we offer below market rates. We are a nonprofit that has a sister relationship with an organization in New York called the Immigrant Justice Corps. And they have raised a bunch of philanthropic funds to fund our startup. And as a result, we are able to offer very high quality legal services at below market rates. If somebody wanted to get an H-1B visa, we would be glad to recommend another firm that could do that well, because we don't do it. And likewise, some of those firms that need, say, someone to help them with an asylum application, we do that very well. Or if someone has been here working for an American company and has maybe married an American citizen and wants to adjust their status to get a green card through that marriage to a citizen, we do that well too. We have people on staff that have processed many of those applications and know the intricacies of that process.